The lava flows of Mustafar cast an orange glow across the industrial complex as two figures stand locked in the most consequential conversation in galactic history. But this time, something's different. This time, love conquers fear. Anakin, please, I can't lose you to this darkness. Come away with me. We can disappear. Start over somewhere the Empire will never find us. Padmé, I've done terrible things. The younglings, the Jedi. How can you still look at me? Because I see the man I fell in love with. The man who's still in there, fighting to get out. We can leave all of this behind. The war, the politics, the Sith. None of it matters if we're together. For a moment that stretches like eternity, Anakin Skywalker stands at the crossroads of destiny. The dark side whispers promises of power, but Padmé's voice offers something more precious: redemption. You're right, I won't lose you. Not to this, not to anything. But their moment of reconciliation is shattered by the sound of approaching footsteps. Obi-Wan Kenobi emerges from the shadows, his face a mask of grief and determination. Anakin, it's over. Surrender, and perhaps the Council will show mercy. Mercy? Like the mercy they showed the younglings I was supposed to protect? Like the mercy they showed when they made me spy on the Chancellor? You were my brother, Anakin. I loved you. No more fighting, please, both of you. She steps between the two men who have shaped her life, her voice carrying the authority of a former queen and the desperation of a woman trying to save the people she loves. Master Kenobi, you say you loved him like a brother. Then help us. Help us disappear before Palpatine arrives, before this gets worse. Obi-Wan looks between the former Padawan and the woman who represents Anakin's last hope for redemption. In the distance, the sound of Imperial ships grows louder. The Emperor is coming. If he finds you here, then we run, all of us. There has to be somewhere in the galaxy where we can start over. Mandalore. The Death Watch has been fighting the Empire's influence. If anyone would harbor fugitives from Palpatine's regime, it would be them. The journey to Mandalore passes in tense silence. Padmé tends to Anakin's wounds while Obi-Wan pilots the ship, all three of them grappling with the magnitude of what they've done. They've abandoned everything they once believed in for the slim hope of redemption. The babies, they'll grow up free, away from all this madness. Babies? Plural? Twins, a boy and a girl. I was going to tell you after the war ended. Then we make sure they have a better galaxy to grow up in than the one we're leaving behind. Mandalore is not exactly known for its peaceful child rearing, you know. Maybe it's time someone changed that. Their arrival on Mandalore is met with suspicion and blaster barrels. Death Watch warriors surround their ship the moment it touches down, their distinctive armor gleaming in the planet's pale sunlight. Well, what do we have here? A Jedi, a senator, and the famous Anakin Skywalker, hero of the Republic, slayer of younglings. I'm not here as a Jedi, I'm here as a man seeking sanctuary for his family. Sanctuary? From who? Your precious Republic? From the Empire, from Palpatine. The Republic is dead, and we helped kill it. The admission hangs in the air like smoke from a blaster barrel. Vizsla exchanges glances with his lieutenants, weighing the political implications of harboring such high-profile fugitives. And why should we trust the word of Republic dogs? For all we know, this is some elaborate trap. Because we have nowhere to go. Because the Empire will hunt us to the end of the galaxy. And because we have information that could help you fight them. What kind of information? Everything. Troop movements, supply lines, the location of every secret Imperial facility. I was Palpatine's chosen one. I know all his secrets. Interesting. But information has a price. What are you willing to pay for our protection? Whatever it takes. I'll fight for you, train your warriors, help you build a resistance that can actually hurt the Empire. A Jedi teaching Mandalorians to fight? That's either the best idea I've ever heard, or the worst. Only one way to find out. Welcome to Mandalore, Skywalker. Try not to disappoint us. The months that follow transform all of them in ways they never expected. Anakin throws himself into training Death Watch warriors, combining Jedi techniques with Mandalorian combat doctrine to create something entirely new. His guilt over the younglings drives him to protect every Mandalorian child as if they were his own. Padmé uses her political expertise to help unite the fractured Mandalorian clans, her pregnancy making her a symbol of hope and renewal among the people who have known too much war. Obi-Wan struggles with his own demons, eventually finding peace in teaching young Mandalorians about the Force, not as Jedi, but as warriors who understand that true strength comes from within. When the twins are born, Luke and Leia, the entire Death Watch celebrates as if they were clan royalty. For the first time in generations, Mandalore has something to protect beyond just their own survival. They'll never know fear like we did. They'll never have to choose between love and duty. They'll know freedom, real freedom. In Mandalorian tradition, children belong to the clan as much as their parents. These little ones grow up as true Mandalorians. What does that mean exactly? It means they'll learn to fight before they can walk properly. It means they'll value honor above comfort, clan above self. It means they'll be warriors. But their peaceful interlude is shattered when Imperial forces arrive in the Mandalore system. Grand Moff Tarkin himself leads the fleet, determined to crush the Death Watch rebellion and capture the fugitive Jedi. The Emperor wants Skywalker alive, but the others are expendable. Prepare for orbital bombardment of suspected Death Watch strongholds. All clans, this is not a drill. The Empire has come to Mandalore. Today we show them what it means to threaten our home. Anakin dons modified Mandalorian armor for the first time, the Beskar steel painted in the colors of his adopted clan. The sight of a Jedi in Mandalorian armor sends ripples of excitement through the Death Watch ranks. You don't have to do this. We could run again. Find somewhere else to hide. No more running. These people took us in when we had nothing. Now it's time to repay that debt. The Jedi way would be to seek a peaceful solution. Good thing we're not Jedi anymore. We're Mandalorians now. The battle for Mandalore is unlike anything the galaxy has ever seen. Mandalorian fighters, enhanced with Force-guided tactics taught by Anakin and Obi-Wan, tear through Imperial formations with unprecedented precision. On the ground, Death Watch warriors employ Jedi-inspired tactics, moving with a fluidity and coordination that confuses and overwhelms Imperial stormtroopers. For Mandalore! For the clan! Anakin and Obi-Wan fight side by side as they haven't since the Clone Wars, but now they fight for something more personal than Republic ideas. They fight for family, for home, for the right to exist free from Imperial tyranny. The tide of battle turns when Mandalorian warriors, using intelligence provided by Anakin, target the Imperial fleet's command ship with surgical precision. Impossible! How could these primitives know our tactical weakness? Sir, we're taking heavy casualties. Our tactical advantage has been completely neutralized. Retreat, but mark my words, the Emperor will not forget this humiliation. We'll be back with a larger fleet. As the Imperial fleet retreats into hyperspace, a cheer goes up across Mandalore that can be heard from the deepest mines to the highest peaks. For the first time in decades, the Mandalorians have won a decisive victory against a major galactic power. That night, in the Great Hall of the Death Watch stronghold, the victory celebration is unlike anything Mandalore has seen in generations. Warriors from dozens of clans gather to honor their heroes and toast their freedom. To our newest clan member, to Anakin Skywalker, who taught us that the Force flows through all warriors, to Padmé Amidala, whose wisdom united our clans, and to Obi-Wan Kenobi, who showed us that even Jedi can learn the Mandalorian way. I'm honored by your words, but this victory belongs to all of us. Mandalorians, former Jedi, anyone who believes that freedom is worth fighting for. Speaking of fighting for freedom, she unwraps an ancient weapon, the Darksaber, its black blade humming with power and history. Previzsla and I have discussed this. The clans need a leader who can unite them against the Empire, someone who understands both the Warrior's way and the larger galactic conflict. I can't. I'm not Mandalorian by birth. I don't have the right. Being Mandalorian isn't about blood, Skywalker. It's about choice. You chose to stand with us when you could have run. You chose to fight for our children when you could have hidden. You chose to be one of us. The choice is yours, Anakin, but remember, these children will grow up in whatever galaxy we build for them. Anakin looks around the hall at faces that have become family, warriors who accepted him despite his past, who trusted him with their lives, who offered his children a future free from the shadows of his mistakes. Then I accept, not as a conqueror, but as a protector, not as an emperor, but as a servant of the Mandalorian people. The years that follow see Mandalore transformed from a fractured collection of warring clans into a unified force for freedom in the galaxy. Under Anakin's leadership, they become a beacon for those fleeing Imperial oppression. Surviving Jedi, scattered across the galaxy, begin to find their way to Mandalore. Not to rebuild the old order, but to forge something new, a community of Force users who serve by choice rather than dogma. Luke and Leia grow up truly free, learning Mandalorian combat techniques alongside Force training, diplomacy alongside warrior traditions. They are living bridges between the old galaxy and the new. Padmé finds new purpose in helping establish a Mandalorian government that balances clan traditions with galactic realities, her experience in the Republic Senate proving invaluable in creating something better. Obi-Wan discovers that teaching the next generation brings him more peace than all his years of meditation. These children will never know the rigid dogma that trapped the old Jedi Order, but their success doesn't go unnoticed. Imperial intelligence reports flow back to Coruscant, painting a picture of a growing threat to Imperial authority. So, my former apprentice has found a new master. How disappointing. Perhaps it's time to remind him of the power of the dark side. 5 years after their arrival, Mandalore has become something unprecedented in galactic history, a world where former enemies work together, where different traditions blend into something stronger, where freedom is more than just a word. Anakin stands in the palace that has become his home, watching through the window as his children play in the courtyard below. Luke practices with a training lightsaber while Leia demonstrates Mandalorian hand-to-hand combat techniques. Both are laughing, carefree in a way their father never was. The council meeting went well. 3 more systems have requested to join our alliance. Good, the more worlds that stand together, the harder it becomes for the Empire to pick us off one by one. Do you ever regret it? Leaving the Jedi? Coming here? Taking on all this responsibility? Every leader has doubts, but regret? No. For the first time in my life, I'm fighting for something I chose, not something I was ordered to protect. Anakin, we're receiving reports of Imperial fleet movements near the Outer Rim. It looks like they're preparing for something big. Then we'll be ready for them. We've built something worth defending here, and we won't let the Empire take it away. Mandalore, our scouts report a massive Imperial fleet assembling on Quat, twice the size of Tarkin's force. Then we call in every favor, every alliance we built. It's time to show the galaxy that there's an alternative to Imperial rule. The call goes out across the galaxy, to refugee worlds, to hidden Jedi, to anyone who has suffered under Imperial oppression. For the first time since the Empire's rise, there's a rallying point for resistance. The final battle for Mandalore becomes the first major defeat of the Imperial Navy, not through superior firepower, but through unity, former enemies fighting side by side, different traditions combining their strength, hope overcoming fear. When the Imperial fleet retreats for the second time, it carries with it a message that spreads across the galaxy like wildfire. The Empire can be beaten. Freedom is possible. There is another way. 10 years later, Mandalore stands as the capital of the Free Worlds Alliance, dozens of systems that have chosen freedom over Imperial rule. The place that once housed Death Watch terrorists now serves as a beacon of hope for the galaxy. Luke and Leia, now teenagers, represent the best of both traditions. Luke has become a powerful Force user who fights with Mandalorian honor, while Leia combines diplomatic brilliance with warrior skills that would make any clan proud. They're ready. Ready for what? To build a better galaxy than the one we inherited, to finish what we started here. The Senate is asking when you plan to step down as Mandalore. They want to know about succession. Tell them I'll step down when the galaxy no longer needs protecting, but something tells me these two will be ready to take over long before that happens. In choosing love over power, family over ambition, and freedom over control, Anakin Skywalker found something the prophecies never promised: true balance. Not through destroying the Sith or rebuilding the Jedi, but by creating something entirely new. A galaxy where the Force flows freely through all who choose to embrace it, where different cultures strengthen each other rather than compete, where children grow up knowing that their choices matter more than their bloodline. The boy who was born a slave on Tatooine became a man who freed the galaxy, not through conquest, but through the simple revolutionary act of choosing love over fear, hope over despair, and family over everything else. That's our theory. The Star Wars universe is a galaxy filled with exciting stories and possibilities, and we love exploring them. If you wish to accompany us on this journey to a galaxy far, far away, like, share, and subscribe to the channel.